What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Key Nutrition Podcast. We are super excited to be here today. We have Tom Hippler being our guest host, co-host for one day only.
I'm not special enough.
You better live up the life. And we have Natalie Mulcock on the show today. So Natalie is just a funny human being and very well versed in fitness and owns an F45 in Holiday, Utah, and we're excited to have you on. Thank you for coming.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So we're what's your story like? So introduce everyone to who you are. Cut that part out.
Okay, so yeah, my name's Natalie. I am probably best known as Mom. Mom, yeah.
Does Tom call you Mom? Because you're a client of Tom. He does not call you Mom, right?
He does not. I'm not
I'm gonna
that
start
much.
putting it on my schedule like that.
I'm not that much older than Tom.
Yeah.
But I have three
Natalie
kids.
is ripped. If you can't see her, Natalie has abs and she has 3 kids.
That's because she has a good coach.
And she's a fitness enthusiast,
Yes.
and she has a decent coach. But what's your story? How did you first get into fitness? Have you always been fit?
Mostly. I grew up as an athlete. So I was a dancer and a gymnast for most of my adolescence, and then transitioned into basketball, mostly because my brother played basketball, and I just always wanted to hang out with him and all of his friends. So I picked up hooping.
How many siblings do you have?
Just one. One older brother, and he's only a year older than I am.
Oh, okay. So you guys were close.
We were very close in age, and I wanted to date all of his friends.
Did you ever?
Many. Just kidding, Nick. Just kidding. But yeah, so I picked up basketball and sort of took that with me through high school, and always been an athlete. And then moved to Utah for college, kind of left that behind.
Where were you from originally?
Oh, well, originally I was born in Rockford, Illinois, but I've lived in 10 states, did the majority of my growing up in California.
Why 10 states?
Just my parents' jobs.
Oh, okay.
I knew nothing of this.
See? Learning new
Well, Tom
things all the time.
needs to get to know his clients better.
Yeah,
so.
right.
Okay, failing already.
So you moved here for college?
True. I went to the University of Utah for my undergrad.
Go Utes.
Amen.
There's very few things I'm passionate about in life, and the Utes are one of them. I believe I run super high levels of cortisol during the football season.
Well, keep it up.
But lately it's been good.
Yeah, last 3 weeks looking real good.
Yeah, I could do a whole podcast on the Utes.
We could. Should we do that?
I think we should,
Okay.
but maybe another time.
Okay.
So you moved here. You went to the best school,
Yep.
University of Utah.
I did.
And you played volleyball?
I didn't. I did not play volleyball. Way too short for that. Do you know how tall I
Wait,
am?
what did you say you played?
Basketball.
I'm sorry. I wasn't listening very good. I was thinking about myself mostly.
Brilliant. Yeah, so I did not. It's one of my biggest regrets, actually, is not pursuing that in collegiate sports. I wish I would have tried. But nope, moved to Utah, went straight into my undergrad, then went straight into my MBA, not from Princeton.
You have an MBA?
I do.
Wow.
MBA in technology management.
Okay.
So
We have another
not quite
unicorn on
unicorns.
this week.
No.
Yeah, but
No.
so during that whole time, you were just into working out. You were into were you always working out?
No. I really love to sweat, but when I moved here, I kind of lost track of it. I think I got busy with work and
Right.
school and all of that. Then I got married and had 3 kids. But in the midst of all of that, I sort of realized I lost myself a little bit. Started going back to some dance classes. Really sort of pulled that from my past, which I loved. Which I found several that I liked at a Gold's Gym at the time, which sort of got me into going to the gym.
And how long ago was that? Was that before kids, after kids?
During all of that, so my oldest will be 12 next month. So I probably did that about a decade ago.
And genetically, I mean, were you still in pretty good shape when you did this? Could you afford to?
It's a good question. So
Do
here's
whatever you
the
wanted.
truth. I'm a little person. I'm 5'2". So with each pregnancy, I put on 70 pounds.
Nice.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, 50 and up each time. So
That's an uncomfortable pregnancy. Not that I've ever been pregnant,
and
but I
I'm
can
not-
imagine.
you know those cute Utah girls who have just like the little belly?
Yeah, where
That's-
you're like,
That
you've
wasn't
been
you.
pregnant from
No.
the back. Oh
That
my
wasn't
gosh,
you.
they turn around. You're like, you're pregnant.
Yeah.
They're
I
taking
don't
all the
like
photos on
those girls.
Instagram and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Notice, as long as you scroll through all my social media, you won't
There's a
find
9-month gap
Yeah,
there that we're
yeah.
not going to see.
Yeah, there are 3 9-month gaps. Because I got big everywhere.
Yeah.
And so I think being a fitness coach and with my social media now, people think always been fit. It's easy for me. I'd never had an issue. And that's totally wrong. I was never hugely overweight, but every time putting on that much weight makes it a challenge to get off every time.
Well, I mean, and how'd you get it off? Because you came in and saw me at, we were pinching you at 19% body fat. So it's not like you were overweight at the time.
No, so after my second child, I had 2 kids under 2, and I started, what was it, that work at home
Tybo.
CDs. No, the other one.
P90X.
Yeah, P90X.
P90X.
I did. And you guys, I
times
was
back in the day.
religious. Like every day I did
Right.
P90, right? Working out from
Why?
home is hard.
I think it's a great point. I think it's way harder.
Way harder.
I can't work out.
So
at
those
home.
moms that do that, those moms that work out from home in their basement, man, props
Yeah.
to you. It is
Seriously.
hard.
And you were diligent in P90X.
I did.
One of my clients actually said, does any of those videos work? I said, if you actually do them, yeah. they
For
all
sure.
work.
And like actually
You know-
try.
Yeah, you know all that beach body stuff that's
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
around? That stuff works if you do
That's
it.
what I
Yeah.
said.
It does. If you do it, whatever you commit to, if you can really
It's the
commit
same.
to
You can
it.
have a gym pass and still not be fit if you go work out at the gym.
Yeah.
You're still
Right.
going to try.
Yeah. So
So you got into that
Mhm.
and then started to find yourself again. I think that was a good point you brought up, that like the people's why is always, sometimes it's not just you look in the mirror and you hate what you see, but you've lost yourself. And
Mhm.
so you got back to like what you always loved, which is being active in
Yeah.
some form and working out and sweating and feeling good and that endorphin rush. And
Yep.
yeah,
oh,
you seem like a little bit of an addict with that. Like it's a good thing.
No.
But then you never started drinking.
unless you
Or
ask
maybe you did. Who
unless-
knows? We should
Addictive
dive into this.
personality.
Let's look back at your high school
Yeah,
days.
that's a slight tangent. But no, my husband would tell you that I probably am a bit of a fitness addict. Although my rebuttal is always how many husbands have to beg their wives to work out. So
Yeah, right?
it can't
Very
really
valid
be
point,
that
actually.
big of a problem for him. But
Well, so then that brought you to, what brought you into then come in to seek nutrition help from Tom?
cool. So let's just back up a teeny bit. So as I'm working out at Gold's Gym, I decided, I want something a little bit more. My friend Ashley actually took me to a gym where her, at the time, boyfriend Adrian was coaching. Adrian Conway, shout out, my first real legit coach ever. And he's the one who first asked me if I would consider competing in CrossFit. So he was the guy.
So you competed in CrossFit.
I did.
Okay, we need to go down that rabbit
We
hole.
do? Okay. I thought we were
Yeah.
going to skip that
no,
whole thing.
I'm fascinated by this.
Okay.
So you got into CrossFit. How long
Yeah.
ago was this?
So this was after Olivia was born. Olivia will be 10 next month. So this was about 10 years
Okay.
ago. I started really, really getting into fitness and CrossFit especially.
And how long did you do CrossFit for?
So I CrossFitted for about 6 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, long time. Spent a lot of hours in the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that takes a lot of time away from my family.
Right. And after, what made you stop doing CrossFit? Did you start to notice any of the metabolic, like the CrossFit is a very high metabolic threshold workout. Like you're going to intense
Mhm.
max reps. It's
Mhm.
a lot of strain on your,
And if
Everything.
Did you start to
You're,
Yeah.
if you're
notice
not
that?
keeping up with your nutrition, like
Yeah. Oh, it'll break down your body for sure. If you're not
Right.
recovering and refueling and eating and doing all of that, right? CrossFit will beat you up.
right. And I think that's where CrossFit went wrong with the paleo thing, was they started saying paleo was good for CrossFitters, when really if you're limiting the amount of carbs you're eating, you're not replenishing glycogen and you're not killing cortisol, like you're going to run into these like
Mhm.
issues where you're literally just spinning your wheels. Did you feel that, or did you just kind of get over CrossFit or move on to something? Like what made you stop competing in CrossFit?
So I think so much about CrossFit the part that I loved was the gymnastics piece, right? You can go to the gym and lift weights and do all of that, which I was doing. But then I was like, oh, wait, there's something that incorporates handstands. And I mean, I love being inverted and swinging on a bar. So that's what I loved about CrossFit. But I got older, right? Mm-hmm. And all of these girls that I was competing with were a decade younger than me, no children. You know, most of them were coaches at a gym. And so I sort of just got pushed out. Right. You know what I mean? Hard to compete with something or other females like that when that's who your competition is.
Yeah, when that's like their livelihood. They don't have anything else to do besides work out in the gym.
Well, and they haven't had kids. It's probably a different hormone profile. They're running at more probably optimal fuel. It's just,
right. Yeah. So I'm gassed, right? I'm winded. I'm exhausted. Right. I've only got 60 to 90 minutes to work out, and they're going on their third AMRAP. Right. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I just can't hang. So for me personally, I think I aged myself out of CrossFit.
And how were you eating during that time?
Here's the honest truth. I wasn't paying attention at all. I have always been the kind of athlete that I worked out as hard as I wanted or as hard as I could so I could eat whatever I wanted. Yeah. So really the only time I started paying attention to what I was eating was with Tom.
Were you intuitively eating, you feel like? Were you trying to make healthy choices, or were you just kind of did you even like intuitively know your body well enough to know, okay, I've got to put, I need more fuel today or I need less, or were you just kind of literally eating whatever?
No, I had some really great coaches along the way. Jake Hutton was one of the first coaches who sat me down and said, you should probably pay attention to some of these things. Yeah. So I think he really wanted to help me dial that in, and he knew, and I knew really, if I wanted to be the best CrossFitter there, I had to also do the nutrition. But I think at that point, that was sort of the time where I'm having my third kid, and I'm like,
you got other worries in the world.
Yeah, it for me, that was, it was a priority, and I had to reprioritize and say that CrossFit is not the most important thing here.
Right. How old are your kids?
Mason will be 12 in November. Olivia will be 10 in November, and Harper is 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
This was about 6 years ago. This is when you got pregnant with your third?
Yeah. So, yeah, right when I had Harper was pretty much when I stepped away from CrossFit.
And then after having Harper, did you get kind of right back into a different like modality of fitness, or was it kind of like a lapse, or?
Yeah, I took a lot of time off trying to figure out what it was that I was going to do next. I am the kind of person who has to sweat every day. Have to. Like, I just love it. Even if it's active recovery, walking, biking, whatever. I love a sweat. Like you said, those endorphins, it's free drugs.
Yeah, right.
That's what I tell people all the time. Free drugs.
Seriously.
So I like to sweat, but I didn't know where to go. But I think my husband liked that I was no longer competing, because I think that's a different part of the psyche,
and when you talk about competing in CrossFit or competing in bodybuilding, shout out to Tom that he just did his first show, and then it promptly announced his retirement.
Floyd
Mayweather also said he retired, and I heard he might do another fight. So,
that was that's
but
a different
it puts
world.
a lot of strain on not only your body, but you're talking about like your marriage and like things like this, where your relationships and so I think good on you that you made that choice to try to find a different avenue of fitness for you.
Yeah.
So then you just kept going into what?
Well, so my brother-in-law Taylor, actually, he came to me one day and can I cuss?
Yes.
Okay, I don't.
For sure.
Anyway, he just told me, he always said, you are so strong, Natalie, but you're slow as shit. So he one day told me to go to this one gym that focused a lot on running.
Taylor told you this?
Taylor did.
I feel like Taylor is not the quickest person on planet Earth, or at least from what I can
I'm
see.
one of the slowest sons of bitches I know, and I'll tell people all day like you're slow.
But I appreciate Taylor was just honest. He was trying to point me in one direction. So anyway, I checked out this one gym. It was just opening, and I happened to run into a really great guy. And he kind of stopped, and he's like, I think I know you. And I was like, well, I'm not from Utah, so I don't really know anybody. Anyway, we kind of chatted, and he said, you used to have really red hair. And I was kind of like, well, yeah, I did. And he said, I coached you at your last CrossFit competition. And I thought, well, or not coached, I'm sorry, he judged me. And I'm like, oh, yeah. So anyway, we made that connection, and he said, I'd love for you to come coach here. And I said, well, that's interesting.
Was this your previous employer?
This was my previous employer.
Okay.
And I said to him, well, that's intriguing. I have always been a cheerleader. Like I've always been someone who likes to support others. But I said, I'm not, certified. I'm whatever. And he said, we need to make that happen. And I need you to be a coach.
Yeah.
So that legitimately is what jump-started my coaching career, was that one guy who took a chance on me.
Right. That's all it takes.
In fact, it wasn't even on my radar. He pushed me to it.
I think that's how the best things happen in life, though, is like when you're really not trying to force something and then you find like, oh, I love this.
Completely
that's how I got into the nutrition
serendipitous.
world.
Oh, yeah?
Tom was thrown in. Tom,
Into the
he
fire.
showed up. I'm seeing clients and I see this awkward young kid at my door. And
I was still in college, actually.
I said, can I help you? And he said, yeah, I'm here to shadow you. And I said, for what?
Mm-hmm.
He said, well, I got hired here. I said, I was not cool with Tom sitting in with me. I was like, who is this dorky kid?
I wasn't super fit at the
Was
time.
this last year?
No.
Hey, all right.
I made him sit in the corner in a chair and I was like,
And his office was small already.
I was like, just sit right there and don't talk.
Don't say anything.
But he got thrust into it. And so you did that.
Mm-hmm.
And now I think what's super cool is I don't know if people all know what F45 is, but
Probably not.
I think it's gaining a lot of popularity. And so maybe you could explain. So now you own and operate the F45. By the way, did you ever do anything with your MBA?
Did I do anything with it? Well, so this is a total tangent. You want to go there?
She has a real job.
Okay.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
I
I'm
have,
not saying that the gym isn't a real job,
Yeah,
but she has a real job.
do.
This guy, Tom, has a real job too.
I do. I have a full-time job in addition to the gym.
You wait.
Yeah.
You got all your kids.
Yeah.
You got a full-time job, and you run the gym.
I
And
do.
she has
did
to
not
deal
know
with
this.
Adam.
Oh, wow.
I know. See, this made me think of your podcast last week when, what was his name?
Sam.
Sam was brilliant. And he talked about all those people that sort of run themselves into the ground.
That's you.
I'm like, he's talking about me.
I know. I think
know.
we should address some cortisol issues with her.
We probably should. We'll
probably
do
talk
that
about
after
it.
this, but yes. So anyway, I do have a full-time job. I still use my MBA. I'm a graduate business mentor at Western Governors University.
Right on. I did not know this
There
about
you go.
Even more respect. That's
Thanks.
I think the people who juggle the most in life but still make fitness and taking care of themselves, like, at the base of that and make sure they're keeping that. That's the people I have respect for, because the amount of times I've heard I don't have time. I'm like, bullshit.
You have time.
Well, and that's why I love my early morning classes at the gym. Those are your go-getters, right? Those are your professionals. Those are people who have the busiest days and they say, I don't care. I'm going to wake up at 4 a.m. because I'm going to get it in.
willing to roll out of bed to go to the gym at 5, like anybody can do it. It's just a matter of having the willpower to actually do it.
Yeah. Talk about respect. Those are your go-getters.
Right. And that's a packed class. And I know because I sent a client down your way and she had to wait on a waiting list to get in at the 6 a.m. class.
Yeah. Well, like you said, F45 is gaining popularity. It is the next thing in fitness.
So explain what F45 is for people who might not know.
Sure.
So what does it stand for?
Yeah.
What do you guys do there?
Okay, F45 stands for Functional 45 Minutes. So they are they're group training classes. So it's not an open gym. You're not going to show up like a Vasa and just kick it.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah, you're not going to just walk around milling for 60
Have
minutes.
you ever watched one of these, Brad?
Yeah, it's pretty
You
awesome.
should come
need
with
to
me one Saturday.
But it's a
while I'm running
45-minute complete ass kicking.
Yeah, I would prefer to
It
not.
looks
Right.
rough. There's a
It's
reason I
awesome.
haven't tried it yet.
You guys.
Hey, I'll go try it.
But here's the deal. Here's why it is
Brad
so
will pass out halfway
appealing. F45s are popping up all over, because here's the deal. You can leave your house, go work out, get just hammered for the day in a good way. Like, you can get wrecked in a good way and be home in an hour.
Right.
Right? That is what everybody needs.
Who doesn't want to get hammered at 5 a.m.,
I
right?
know I said that. You should probably edit that out. But I don't mean hammered. I mean, you're going to get your butt kicked and not feel like, oh, I need to go work out again later, which I have found, right? I have done other workouts where you finish after an hour and then you're like, okay, that's great, but now I got to go do the other thing I like. That's not this. 45 minutes at F45 is enough for your 500, 600, 700 calorie burn. You're done. You don't have to go do anything else.
So what about a beginner that comes in there that are they going to be way out of the loop? Do you guys go out? Like, I mean, is it just you all are at the same level, or how does that work?
Great question. So if you come to a class, Tom has seen some, we have the full gamut. I have a kid. I love him to death. My Josh Gilbert, my neighbor, he's in high school. He wakes his butt up at 4:30 and comes to my 5
Doesn't your
a.m. classes.
father-in-law go do those workouts
That's what I
too?
say. So
Yeah.
I've got Josh, who's in high school, and then my father-in-law, who is 69. And they're in the same class. They're working side by side. They're doing the same things, but we can modify everything. So here's the difference, right? It's all functional movements. You are picking up, you're twisting, you're lifting. It's all the things you do at the gym,
Right.
but a lot faster.
Yeah.
Right? So it's every single person can do it. It's amazing. So a beginner can walk in the door and I can throw them in a class with some of my heaviest hitters. They can be working side by side, doing the same movement at either a different pace or a different weight or a different intensity, but they're doing the same thing.
Right. Yeah.
It's for everybody. That's really the thing that I want everybody to get from this is F45 is for everyone.
I don't know if it's for me. I feel like I'd
Shout
pass
out,
out
Tom.
doing it. Oh,
You'll hurt, but you'll
oh,
love
for sure.
it.
Yeah, Tom's just got a lot of fear.
You have no idea.
Well, we better work through that.
Walking up on that stage last Saturday, that's like way out of my league. So that was already a step.
I'm
Maybe
impressed.
I'll take an F45
I will
step
never
one
do
day.
it, Tom, so I'm impressed by you.
Well, you could do it,
This is
I
true.
will,
but we just talked about what CrossFitting had to take for your life, and I
Yeah.
I expressed to Tom. I said I did an Instagram video before, like when they were all competing, and I told him, I said it wasn't a shot at you guys, but I had a lot of people ask me at the show, "Are you ever going to compete again?" I said, "Absolutely not."
Mm-hmm.
I said because I know what it takes
Yeah.
from me to
Mhm.
do that.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about my work ethic. I know what I have to sacrifice in my life, my marriage, my
Mhm.
business, my
Mhm.
personal relationships to get to that goal. And for me right now, that's not even a question. Like I have,
There's a reason that I
tangent
promptly retired.
But I agree. It's such a commitment. It's not, oh, I go real hard in the gym and my diet is dialed in. No, it's everything. It's all
Or you
consuming.
lose your social
to
life.
be
You're
that
in the gym
competitive.
3.5 hours
Plus-
a day.
well, and
Your
No.
mood shot.
It doesn't matter how cute the bikini is. You're not
I
getting
had
me
to
up on
apologize
stage.
to all my clients this week for
Never
being an
gonna
asshole the past month.
Yeah, that's true. You were not nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
You
Well,
wanted to take candy from children.
it's an extreme stressor on the body,
Yeah.
emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Like it takes a lot from you, whether that's competing in CrossFits or you're doing the CrossFit games or you're trying to become a pro bodybuilder. The people that do that, like my hat's off to them, but like I have to give up way too much to do that today.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be willing to do that. So F45, I have not tried it. I need to. I'm in fear too, probably.
Key
For
Nutrition has lots of F45 members.
So let's talk about that. So
Okay.
with as far as the fuel goes, I mean, so these people are burning and they're going to a high pretty anabolic thirst. They're keeping their heart rate high the whole time, right? It's
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you guys wear heart rate monitors
Yeah.
in there.
We do have heart rate
Yeah.
monitors. It's not our platform. It's not the thing that we
Worry about as much.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
at all. It is not a focus. Heart rate monitor screens are on the back walls, so
Right.
you're
it's
not
just good to
looking
know.
at
I
it
mean,
during
it's
class.
like me wearing my Apple
gives
Watch
you-
during workouts because then I know if like, oh, I should probably pick it up a little.
Yeah.
What's cool about that though, I think when you get to a place where you're at or I'm at, or I guess Tom's not there yet because he still uses his Apple Watch. I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
You start to be intuitive to know where your heart rate's at. I
Yeah.
know if I'm really, really
Yeah.
high and I need to bring it down. Like I don't even need a heart rate monitor to
Yeah.
tell me. And I think some people get so focused on, like at some other places, like that's where my heart rate should be. And it's like, for what? Like it like,
Mm-hmm.
it's just so individualized to. So anyways, I like that. I think that I could go off on a whole tangent how I'm not quite sold on the heart rate monitor idea, but I won't.
But again, that's what I like about F45. It's an option.
Mhm.
It's not our platform. It's not the thing we're selling. So heart rates aside, you are going to a very high threshold. But there's no competitive piece to it, meaning at the end of the day, you don't have to go write your score on the board. Like in CrossFit.
You're just competing against yourself.
That's exactly right. And the data that comes to you via the heart rate monitor at the end is cool for your own personal goals
Right.
and how well did I do this time versus last time. But yeah, like I said, everybody's working their hardest, even though your hardest looks different than mine.
Right.
Yeah.
And it has been a good synergistic relationship with F45
Yeah.
because I just think that, so we get clients going there. They're motivated to go there because the class is lined out. They've already signed up their spot. They don't want to lose it. Their accountability to be there. Accountability is like they're accountable and they usually have a friend or I'm assuming if like people don't show up, you probably say, hey, where were you last week?
Mhm.
And so there's accountability. Like nothing me and Tom do, like you can't Google. like as far as like
100%.
macros.
Right.
So like, what's the difference? Well, it's accountability.
Yep.
It's results. Like, the accountability drives more compliance, which drives results. And I think F45 is the same way. But then fueling your body properly to recover from that workout. And really, you shouldn't be. I tell my clients to work out for 3 hours a day. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like,
You don't need to be there that long.
Totally agree. And what you're doing in that time is so important. So here's why I left my old employer and decided that this was the next best thing. I think, and you guys probably know some of these, I think Tom dubbed it. Did you call them the cardio queens?
Yes.
Is that you?
The
Is that
cardio
your
bunnies?
term?
Did.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think Tom made it up, but
He
No, but
probably
I'll take
didn't.
credit for it.
But
It's fine.
I have stolen that term from Tom because you do, and especially in Utah, I've seen it a lot, right? There are these women who feel they need to run for an hour or more every day in order to get their workout.
That's the only way that they're going to stay skinny.
They
and what they
think
don't
that, right?
realize is they're exacerbating the problem.
Right. Tell them why. Tell them why.
100%.
Why is that the wrong thing if their goal is, I want to be trim and muscular, and why is it the wrong thing?
Well, first off, they're not doing any weight training, so they're not going to put on any muscle. In fact, they're probably going to lose muscle. The second
Exactly.
reason is your body becomes more efficient. Your body's victory with cardio is that it can burn less calories in more time eventually. That's why find me a ripped marathon runner and I'll pay you $500.
Right.
Like, I'm
I
talking
show
like
people that all
shredded
the time.
abs.
Take a sprinter versus a marathon runner. You're going to see a
Great point.
complete
In
difference.
the Olympics, take a sprinter,
Mm-hmm.
take a marathon runner,
Yep.
tell me who looks better.
Yeah.
Big
Which
legs,
one do you
big
want-
muscles.
which one do you want to
Yeah.
look like?
Well, so that's the thing, right? I have women and men, truthfully, who come into the gym and they say, here's my goal. Here's what I want to look like. I'm like, then don't ever go run for an hour,
Right.
ever.
Nope.
Right.
If this is your goal, this photo that you're showing me, then you better lift weights.
Right.
You better lift weights.
I preach this so hard.
I know you do, which is why we have such a great working relationship, Key Nutrition and F45, because the weight training is what people have been missing.
Right.
And as soon as these women who haven't, and men who haven't picked up weights, start picking up weights, immediately they're like, look, I look different. I can see it. My clothes fit different. I'm like,
Right.
you're welcome.
I mean, it's even kind of like Ari. So Ari, before she started the show with us, she was never like a gym goer, super heavy weightlifter, and she did cardio a lot. And so she was scared when Justin told her, like, you got to back off on cardio and we're going to do like steady state the whole time. And you're going to go to the gym and we're going to lift. And all of a sudden she fell in love with lifting because of how much it actually changed her body
Well,
when
and,
she got
and she's
away from
leaner
doing so
now
much
than
cardio.
she's ever been.
Oh, she's shredded.
Right? Shredded because she lifted weights and backed off on all that cardio.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
And so this is the thing I'm trying so hard to teach. And I know you guys are doing the same thing. But if this is your goal, you have to lift weights. So F45 is all weight training. There are specific cardio days, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, are more cardio intensive. Tuesday, Thursday are more strength. But every day you are going to sweat and you are going to shake, and it's going to be amazing.
Then the afterburn effect of weights, and I could keep going. I can tell you that
You could do an
every
entire
client,
podcast on that.
for
every
sure.
client I've ever had that somehow gets the idea. And listen, I'm all about goals, so I try to support it, but I try to inform clients of what's going to happen. That have told me somewhere in their point in their program they want to do a marathon, they want to train for a half.
Mm-hmm.
They inevitably never lose weight from that point forward because I'm trying to figure out how much to put in. They're not doing any weights because they start doing more cardio, so they sacrifice the weight training, so their BMR goes down. They're not getting any afterburn. Their body's actually burning less calories the more they just jog like that.
Yep.
So, yeah, I love that you guys do that there. Michelle went and did a class. I'm like, how was it? And she's like, I was so sore and dead.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
that's good.
Well, and let's be honest, it is so much harder to build muscle the older we get, right? And our bodies start to break down, and we, especially I think about older women, you become brittle and you break because you're not building any muscle, right? But you have to do that now in order to sustain as you go forward,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So I just think everybody should be picking up weights. That's what makes it different, and everybody loves.
One, there's this fear of women getting big and bulky.
I
And
know.
like,
It's not a
I
thing.
mean, Natalie is ripped, but Natalie is still very feminine and she lifts weights. And like, unless you run an ungodly amount of testosterone naturally as a female and or you're exogenously taking it, you're not going to get ripped or huge as
Yes.
a female.
And
Like, I tell all my clients, like, trust me, you could do the same workouts as me.
Mhm.
And even if I give you tons more food, you're not going to build
Look,
muscle
yeah.
like that. So
I have had women walk into the gym so many times and look at me and they're like, I don't know that I want to look like that. And they're pointing at me and I'm like, that's okay. I'm like,
everybody has different body images, first of all.
Well, yes, but I'm like, this didn't come
and let's take
from
into
this,
account.
Right? I've been a gymnast my whole
life.
life.
Right.
You know what I mean? Most of the reason I look the way I do is because I was a gymnast and then I was in CrossFit, right?
Right.
So I have a CrossFit figure. I know that. I'm a little thicker than most. I have some bigger muscle than most my size. I get that. So when women look at me, I'm like, you won't look like this at the end.
This
you've
takes a
been
lot of time
training
and
for
effort.
25 years.
Yeah, this is a long time coming. But honestly, most women don't want to look like me. They want to be longer and leaner.
That surprises me, but
I totally agree.
Yeah.
But maybe it's just the world that me and Brad live in through the fitness world.
Yeah.
yeah. So you found Tom, and why did you seek out any additional help at that point? Were you just like, would it be fun, or just wanted to dial it in? You came in pretty lean, but you got really lean.
Yeah, I did. I found Tom through Kristen Anderson, a really great friend of mine, and my husband and I decided to do it together. I think it actually was his call, which is the best.
And he killed his program too.
Yeah,
Let's not forget
his
that.
before and afters are something special. He killed it. So I did it really to support Adam, but I thought, well, let's see what I can do. I've never really taken the time to watch what I eat. But if I'm paying for this and Adam and I are going to go for it, I'm going to go for it. And it completely changed my body.
So how were you feeling your body before then? And then what shifts did you make in your nutrition that you, saw the difference with?
Mm-hmm.
Like what shifts did Tom make that you were not doing before?
Okay, number one, well, I'll give you two that I can't get away from. Water intake.
Oh.
Without a doubt, I was
easily overlooked by everybody.
Oh my gosh, it's the biggest deal.
It's the least sexy component, but probably one of the most important.
Yeah.
Right?
Water and sleep.
And I'll be honest, hard to do to start drinking
it is
that
until
much
your body
water.
gets used to it.
Right?
You find me a fit person, they'll ask me to use my bathroom. Like, it's like fit people, I'm always like, can I use your bathroom?
Yeah. Right
Oh,
before,
did you go in that bathroom?
No, but right before we left, I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. But yes, drinking water, you can't say it enough. And now that I really understand this because of Tom, like when people come to me and they're not recovering or they're sore, really so many things, I'm like, first thing, let's talk about water.
Yeah.
It's really almost the first thing I throw out all the time because this is like God's medicine.
Right.
This does so much for your body other than just keep you hydrated.
Right.
So anyway, that was the first thing. And then for me, it was not eating often enough. So we talked about it, right? I have a full-time job, started a business, I have 3 kids, I work out every day. I really never took the time to eat. Almost never. Like stopped and thought about what I just ate, whatever was left over on my 3 kids' plates. And that's kind of what I did.
Right.
So I'd like to say it was sexy and I did like intuitive eating and I was super smart. No, not at all.
In other words, I fed you more.
Yes.
So you were probably under eating.
I'm
I think
sure
most
that I
people
was.
are chronically under eating, and when you talk about CrossFit too, and and even F45 or some of these other modalities that are high intensity, like
We're burning a lot.
I think the majority of people, if they're not educated and don't have the proper resources, they're probably under eating and they can't figure out why they're not recovering or making progress.
Right.
Or even not eating proper nutrition post-workout to recover.
Yeah.
Regardless if you're under eating or not.
Yeah. That's a big thing I learned from Tom, and I've tried to pass it to everybody I know now, is if you're not giving your body enough in calories, it's going to hang on to whatever it's got. Yeah. So again, your body's not going to let it go. It's not going to burn it all out because it's not sure when it's going to get any more. So this whole starvation idea is happening in your body, even though you're thinking, well, I'm not taking in as many calories, so I'm going to lose it. No, that's completely backwards.
Right.
So, right, when we do these challenges at F45, like these 8-week body transformation challenges, we always encourage them to partner with you guys because they need to realize the more you eat, the more your body understands what to do with it if you're eating the right stuff.
There you
right?
go.
And then you burn it out.
When you get into this metabolic adaptation where people initially might lose if they're too low in calories, and then the body starts to go, hey, you know what, screw you.
Yep.
Welcome
like,
to my show.
Too low. And the body starts to revolt against you. You're outputting too much. Your intensity level's too much. You're not recovering. So your cortisol is running high. And then they can't figure out. So what does Mrs. Jones do from home? She drops her calories even more.
Exactly.
And I'm like, no.
Yeah, backwards.
And tries to run
then
on
you
the
got to
treadmill
reverse it back
longer.
out. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And it's this constant circle that people find. So I think it's really cool that like kind of the sequence of events that you met Tom, and I think really got more of a grasp. I think you had a grasp of nutrition, but got more of a grasp. And now you're able to help people at your facility be like, okay, you're not drinking enough water and you're probably not eating enough. And they look at you like, what?
They do. They think I'm completely crazy. But I do that a lot when people are like, I'm not losing weight. And I see them just busting their ass in the gym. I'm like, it's not that, right? You've got that part dialed in.
Yeah, your workout's good.
Yeah, your workout's awesome.
It's everything else that's outside of the workout.
Now let's talk about nutrition, because you are probably not taking in enough calories, and people don't understand that.
Right.
And I don't either. So much I didn't know until I really sat down and met with Tom.
Super cool. Good job, Tom.
Good job, Tom.
I like to think I'm decent at my job.
I mean, Tom's owes Natalie a year.
Oh, I told her Natalie sees me for free.
Natalie built.
I pay Tom's mortgage.
Yeah.
Natalie has sent me so many clients.
But you don't know why? Because Natalie's passionate about
work.
The people that send me the most clients is because they're passionate about fitness. They're passionate about the results. And so it's just organic. Like, what are you doing? You look great. Oh my gosh, you have to go see so-and-so. And that's what a good coach
everyone.
should, but the clients that are actually passionate about this or know their why with this are the ones that send me in the most people.
That's true. 100%.
And so I think you knew your why. You've been through, you've got an MBA, you've got 3 kids, and like you've competed in CrossFit. I imagine probably done well. And like your point, I think you figured out your why. And now I think part of your why is to help other people. Like you're making, people love, your dance moves are pretty sick. So.
You're so, but you know what's interesting? I really thought I lost a huge part of me when I stopped competing in CrossFit. I really thought like
absolutely, and I think it happens to every competitor.
Yeah. It does. It happens to everybody, and regardless of what you're doing. I mean, if you give up on something, it's like, what am I doing now?
That was part of your identity,
without a doubt, right? Without a doubt. And down the road, I think it was probably 6 months or a year later, or whatever, I started coaching. It completely filled that void for me.
Right.
There's no part of me that needs that anymore, because now I get to turn around and do that for someone else.
Right.
It is the best thing that ever happened to me, without a doubt. I found my thing like 5 years ago. Like I called my mom. I was like, I figured it out. I know what I'm supposed to.
I'm gonna start using that excuse when people ask me if I'm gonna do another show. Just like, no, look, like I've changed my whole life. I just want to coach a minute.
Hey, but on a serious note, I think Tom, you probably felt that like what we do as coaches is really cool. Like I get to like
coolest.
Show up and like make a living somehow, like helping other people and like making an impact on their life for the greater, like that's super cool. And like
our job's not a job. I mean,
and I think that Tom, you might have lost that during your show. Like, and I don't know.
100%.
And you start getting so ultra focused on this other identity that you're trying to become or you think you are, that you forget like how good your life is. Like what you do for a living, you get to show up and deal with cool people like Natalie and talk about like with something you're passionate about.
Right. No, it's 100% true.
My husband will totally laugh. We could be sitting around in a group of family or friends and talking about whatever, and I could be half asleep. And if someone asks me something about fitness, I am wide awake. I'm sitting up straight in my chair, and he just laughs so hard because it is the reason I was put on this earth. Like it is my passion. It is the thing I'm supposed to do every day. I know it.
I literally just got chills.
I might cry.
No.
But I'm not going to.
But I feel the same way.
Yeah.
And I think when you get too involved trying to make your identity something else as a competitor or this and that, like you forget, like that's why I feel like I was to make an impact in this arena.
Yep.
Like that's why you were put on this earth.
Yep.
That's why I love you. I feel the same way. Yeah. Like when talk about politics or even religion, some other subjects, and like I'll just be quiet. Like I don't get involved. I don't talk about fitness, the Utah Utes, or
what would be the third one?
Or recovery from
okay.
drugs and alcohol.
I was going to say that, but I didn't want to say that.
Oh no, I don't care. I was having a brain fart. Those 3 things, like I have a passion for, and I will light up. I'm the same way. Where like I could be at a dinner party and I'm like wanting to seriously just, I mean, like hide under the table.
Go
I'm
home,
like,
read a book.
And someone says something about fitness and I'm like, let's talk about that. And they say something like keto. And I'm like, let's talk about keto actually. Do you know, are you properly informed? And
that's
one
exactly
of those guys.
How I feel. But
that's how it should be.
That's what makes us good at what we do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I like I said, I know I'm not a competitor. I'm a competitor, but I know that's not the thing I'm supposed to do. It's
Right.
not about me. It's about all these other people. And that is way more fulfilling.
And being in this fitness industry with you coaching and me and Brad coaching, I mean, we coach, it would be such a difficult task that if we didn't love what we did, it would drain you emotionally way too hard that people would end up quitting very quickly if you didn't have a pure passion for this or feel like you were put on this earth to actually do something with it.
Yeah. Have you ever been in a class? I don't know if you guys do group fitness very often, but I know people listening do. If you've ever been in a group fitness class and the coach just sucks.
Yeah.
I've had clients tell me.
You're just like, ugh. Right. But you find a class and a coach that you love, you'll never miss.
Right,
You'll never miss.
Because
you can feel that they want to be in that room, that they are excited and they woke up like, I can't wait to coach today.
Right.
If you find that, then
you said the word, you said impact. Like that's what it's all about. I try to tell my guys like impact precedes like reputation precedes revenue, and impact is right before the like you have to make the impact.
Yeah.
And then like people want to be around you, and then like the revenue will come. But if you're in it after the dollars, you're in the wrong game because you will wear yourself out. I completely agree.
Yeah. It's not about the money. Yeah. I'm doing the thing I love. I would do it for free.
You gonna open more F45s?
Maybe.
We should talk about that after the podcast.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. Well, I think you have a lot to give, and I think you should just go full time with it.
That would be nice. So we'll see. We'll see. That I mean,
your impact is spread huge. Like you started an Instagram page, and people, I mean, you got more You got like 5 times more followers than we've gotten in 2 years. So maybe I need to.
And we have 8 people working for us, and you're just yourself.
But you know what? It's because you post and people feel your passion. When you're not speaking and living your truth and you're posting a bunch of bullshit, people sift through that. I'm not that we are. Let me just rephrase this. But that's why I'm like, you know what? I said, that's why Natalie's grown a following so much. Like, it's not as easy today as it used to be. The algorithms have changed, blah, blah, blah. But truth and passion seep out. Well, and like they see that, and they see that you love this, and that you're funny, and that you're motivating, and that you're real. And that you have your.
And you're not just trying to sell anything. Like you're not putting out.
And I'm literally not trying to sell
Natalie
anything.
20 on there. Like
I'm not. I have a woman that I love and respect at my full-time job, and she is a motivational speaker, and she has such good stuff to share. Anyway, sometimes she'll comment on my pictures, and she'll just put like 40%. And she explained this to me one day, and she's like, "You better give it 100% on every post." She's like, "You're holding back." She's like, "You are not giving it everything you got."
Whoa.
I know it. Are you kidding me? It changed my life. So like now I think about it, and when I post something, it's about me laying on the floor, like dying because I just ran.
Yeah, you're
and
sweat
I'm
angels
willing
that
to
you
show
leave on
my
the F45
weakness
floor.
because guess what? I suck at running.
Right.
But someone, or maybe 500 someone's, are going to connect with that way more than the girl with the booty pop in the you know what I mean?
Yep.
There's so much fake. Much fake on Instagram.
That's not me. I would rather show you me on my kitchen floor crying.
Like I've been trying to get my Instagram up, but there's a reason that I never did, and it's because of the pictures like that.
But you got to be vulnerable and raw and real.
You said real, and that's what made me think of it. She told me, like, don't ever give it half your ass. Like, go all for it. And so some of my posts are like, hey, I don't want to go to the gym today. Anybody else ever felt like that? I own a gym, and I don't want to go.
Right.
So do you feel like that? And what do we do now?
Yeah.
So that's what my posts are about, because I think there are more people where that resonates with them rather than, oh, it's awesome. I look so cute. I did my makeup and my hair. Let's go to the gym.
Right.
Not my jam.
Well, I think, and maybe it's just because I'm trying to live in this world, I think we're having a shift a little more. That when filters came out a couple years ago, shit just got crazy on Instagram. I'm like, that is not even the same person.
Yeah.
And I think people are starting to gravitate back towards like what's real.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
my favorite thing
like
was
the
when
picture that's tagged of me by my mom on Instagram of my worst angle. I used to like deny to accept on my wall, and now I accept it because I'm like, that's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
That's really who you are.
Like sometimes I move my head and I have a double chin. I guess I don't know.
Like when
like,
people would put hashtag no filter, like why was that even a thing? You shouldn't be posting filters on everything anyway.
Well, I think it's awesome what you're doing. I think that you're impacting a lot of lives. And you, even when you took over our Instagram story, people loved it because you were so real. Like you open up your cupboard and you're like, well, like this is okay. There's all my kids' junk food. And like this.
And then here's my stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think juggling being a mom, a full-time worker, owning a gym, and being into fitness, like does it ever feel overwhelming?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There are times where I feel underwater, without a doubt. And those are the things that I talk about. And I think that's why people follow me, is because I'm the same as you, right? I'm the same. We're all doing the same. And, I don't slow down enough. And when I don't, I get hit with pneumonia, because that's when your body just says, all right, we've tried everything. Like now we just shut it down. But the other thing that I want to say is, like you said, I'm not trying to sell anything online. I'm not You're
just being yourself.
Well, yeah, because I want you to come to my gym and meet me, and I'm going to be the same person here that I am there. Do you know what I mean? I don't want you to show up and be like, ooh, well, that's what she looks like. No, I want it to
Totally
be the
different
same
person.
thing. I want whoever shows up in this podcast to be the same person you meet when you walk in my gym. You know what I mean? It's all the same. You don't want to be one thing here and one thing there.
Right. Analogy I just thought of, I think that you're the person who's willing to stay in the ocean when the waves get rough, and you get almost to probably a fault. My clients have this chronic problem of they ride the wave in, things are good, things get hard, and they ride it right back out, and they hit shore, and then it's Tuesday. And like the difference of the people who stay fit and make this a lifestyle, the people who stay in the ocean, whether life's good, whether life's bad, whether your husband likes you, he doesn't like you, but you just take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And it can't always be about a vanity thing. Like,
No.
I think for you, it's a huge, like, I know for me, it's a stress thing. Like, I told my wife, I have to go to the gym tonight. She said, you just work super late. And I said, it's not because I care about big biceps anymore. It's because I need
Therapy
it for my stress.
Therapy.
I need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
I need to
Some
get
people
it
call
out.
it church.
Yeah.
Some people call it therapy.
Right.
You can call it the gym, whatever you want to call it. It's the mental game.
Right.
Right. It has so much less to do with this. So much more to do with this.
And I used to be chasing just the bicep.
Of course.
And I was chasing the wrong game.
Yeah.
And what happened was the thing I loved, I started resenting. I started hating going to the gym because I was in it for the wrong reasons.
So let's talk about that. That's something I want to talk about, because whenever I've talked to like women's or young women's groups, we talk about, I'm always trying to teach you work out, excuse me, you eat good, you're healthy because you love your body, not because you hate
Not because you
your
hate
body,
it right now and you're trying to make it better.
Right? It's not because you want to look a certain way. It's because you want a long, healthy life, and you know you only get one body.
I try to harp on my clients to celebrate on their little victories, and like, people will get really upset that they lost 2 pounds this week, and I'm like, yeah, but you lost 2 pounds. Like, you should be super excited about this, or else this is all going to go downhill very quickly if you take all of this nutrition, all of this exercise, and your body image and everything like that purely negatively. I understand that there's going to be some negativity in it, but overall, you have to look at everything with fitness as a positive experience.
That's the ups and the downs you work through. And I tell my clients that getting this body composition change thereafter is a byproduct of getting healthy inside. Not only your blood work, getting healthy, but having a healthy relationship with yourself and food. The results are the byproduct of that.
100%.
And when you're just after the results, like you miss the journey. If somebody says, I want to lose 30 pounds. Like, okay, Ms. Jones, you want to lose 30 pounds? If I snapped my fingers tomorrow and she was down 30 pounds, she would be happy for about a week and then be miserable again because she didn't learn to love herself along the way.
It's so true.
She wanted to lose 30 pounds so bad because she didn't like who she was.
Right. She got her number, but nothing else changed.
Totally. And you know what's so great is I love the people out there who don't have the picture perfect body or physique or whatever, but they're so comfortable with who they are that their confidence carries them through everything else, right? That's what we want. We want to be comfortable and confident with who we are. And so I think that's what's so sexy, right?
Right.
That's what's sexy in a person, is the confidence and the comfort in who you are. And I think that's what I want from all of my clients, is for you to feel so good about who you are.
Right.
Right? That's what we all want.
And it's a harder job. People think that you just teach a class or we just write macros. And I'm like, oh, that's cute, because it's so much more than that. I'm trying to help teach you the practical stuff, but if I'm not helping you realize like how much better of a relationship you're having with food, that maybe you and your husband are getting along better because you're feeling a little better about yourself. So your marriage is improving. Like there are so many wins along the way.
Domino effect.
And then before you know it, you're like, oh, guess what? And I look great.
And I look great.
But you loved yourself along the way
it's
to
all
get
of
there.
And I look good now.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I love that you teach that. And I think that, I mean, really, and take this as a compliment, you could bag your professional 9 to 5 and say like, I'm going to be this lady on Instagram who influences young women, and I teach classes and I teach motivational speeches, and you could do it and you could grow huge. Like and you would be the same person then as you are today. And that's why I try to tell my clients, like, we've got to get you to love yourself right now.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what promotion you get, no matter what, if you ever like become Instagram famous or whatever body composition change you get, like you're still the same person because you loved yourself from the get. Like you just, rabbit hole. Sorry.
I like it. I got you.
Okay.
I'm following you.
I mean, I had a negative self-image when we first started all of this, but
yeah.
I mean, it takes time, but eventually you get there. It's just a matter of looking at it positively.
Well, and to be honest, at 24, I was still, hell, at 34, I've gotten to a place where I'm just like, I don't have to be the most ripped or big dude in the gym anymore. Like my why is different. And I didn't. So if you're already getting there at 24 where you got a better body image, you're far ahead of I was.
Mm-hmm.
I was I was a tool bag at 24.
I can only imagine.
Like, oh my gosh. Like, I think Ed Hardy was cool then. I was rocking.
Shoot. Sorry, Ed Hardy, if you're listening to this. Is Ed Hardy a real person?
I'm not even sure,
know.
but
That's
like,
okay.
I'm glad that phase is over.
That's pretty funny.
Tom, do you remember Tom? We started.
I was
Tom
never the affliction kid.
He doesn't even know who Salt and Pepper is.
Okay, I know who Salt and Pepper is.
No.
I just didn't know the song that you were singing. Sean
Like,
didn't either.
I
Sean's
did
my age.
Well, I did a talent show to Bye 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 in 9th grade in sync.
Okay,
yeah,
see,
I
I
did
can
the whole
sing
dance
and
and everything.
Oh, yeah.
But you were 5.
Yeah, this is
Like,
true.
how do you remember?
He doesn't. He can't even relate.
I had their CDs.
Hey, I'm so grateful you came on today. I think it provided a lot of impact and value. And like, I know that's what you're after in life. And like, I know that's what we're after at Key Nutrition is like impact. And so where can people find you to get more of this impact from you? Like where's your gym located? Do you have a website? And as well as what's your Instagram?
Okay, all the nitty gritty. So if you want to find F45 Holiday, we are at 47.
Holiday specifically.
Holiday.
Correct.
HOLLADAY. I know. I don't know why. Utah's weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, on Instagram, it's at F45 Holiday. So go check it out. Our address is 4707 Holiday Boulevard. We are open 7 days a week, which is pretty awesome in Utah. So lots and lots of class options. My Instagram is coachnat_Mulcock.
Go follow her, guys. Do yourself a favor. You'll get some free entertainment.
I do.
As well as some good motivation and just some raw, real stuff like that will apply. Because at the end of the day, like that's what's going to save your ass, not some girl that doesn't even look like the picture she's posting. And you're sitting there playing the compare game and this game. And so follow those pages. And thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Okay.